Welcome back to NH Unscripted, you lucky listeners. Well, I woke up this morning and you are on my mind. I am your We5-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Gong Show-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Yep, I got my Nehru jacket on, I got my Paisley bell-bottoms on, and I got my platform shoes. We are trucking today. Yes, we are. All right, get out your transistor radios, put that earplug in, because we have a barn burner. Most of them seem to be that way lately anyway. Flip over to the AM band on your radio. You'll find us there at 1450 AM, 103.9 FM if you are in the Concord area, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. There's a lot going on out there. It's where all the cool kids are hanging out lately. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Right now, I need to thank my sponsor, Lakes Region Fence. Okay, it's getting towards the end of the year. You put up with that thing that you think is a fence in your backyard. Dude, get rid of it. Break down. It's on its last legs. Lakes Region Fence in Guilford will help you out. Their URL is lrfence.com. You go out there, there's a button where you push it. You can get a free estimate. We like free. Who doesn't like free? I use coupons. Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. Push the button, get a free estimate. Break down, you cheap son of a gun. LR Fence is an installer of all types and varieties of fencing. Come on, they do tennis, basketball courts, sports courts, pickleball. Pickleball's huge. Maybe you're a pickleball player or a wannabe pickleball player. Go get a fence put up around your court. They do well construction, servicing. They do residential, commercial. They do property lines, lrfence.com. There are reams of photos out there. Reams. I'm talking gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Go out to lrfence.com and just peruse the area. Yeah, print some photos off. Hand them out in the neighborhood. You'll be the talk of all your friends, I promise you. lrfence.com. They are the sponsor of this show. We appreciate Matt and his crew up there. They really do exemplary work. Unbelievable. I've been on their job sites. It's pretty crazy impressive. lrfence.com, Lakes Region Fence in Guilford. Okay, got that out of the way. Today happens to be the third interview we're doing for New Hampshire Film Festival in Portsmouth. And on the line with us is Dan Hannon. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Ray. How's it going?
Sir, I am well. Good to hear from you again.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited.
We
had a great time last year.
Yes, we did.
Here we go.
Yeah. Dan, why don't you, before we go too far, give us some of the give us the URL and the dates for the film festival out there, and then we'll get into some of the minutia.
Sure. The 22nd Annual New Hampshire Film Festival is coming at you October 17th through the 20th, all throughout downtown Portsmouth. The website is nhfilmfestival.com. That'll have everything you need to know to make your plans, check out the passes that are available, and come on and join us.
Yeah, thank you. I told Ian and I told Tina, that website is impressive. The amount of information out there is just mind-boggling.
It is a large event, so it's a lot to put together, and thank you. Yeah, it needs to be something that's user-friendly and really paints the picture of everything going on.
It's so easy to navigate. I mean, I'm on there right now while we're talking. It's incredible what's out there, and it's chock full. I mean, you break down a lot of the events. You break down a lot of the films that are going to be seen out there. It's. I don't know who did it, but whoever did it, you need to pay them more. That's all. I'm going to leave that right there. Okay. Okay, so Dan, what? So first of all, if people want to go to the festival, where would they get their tickets from?
So what you want to do is you can buy tickets online, and there are many packages. People can come to see one film, one block of films. You can come for a whole day of films, special events, parties. discussions. You can come for 2 days or all 4 days. So we make it very flexible because that's what a festival is. It's you make it what you want it to be, and you spend as much time as you want. You can make your own itinerary for the whole time you're there. Go there with friends, one friend, no friend, meet new friends.
Yeah.
So we have passes that encompass all 4 days. We have discounted passes for that for New Hampshire residents. We have individual day passes, which start at $30 for Thursday, the first day of the festival. And it's really a good deal, considering how much it is these days to go see even one movie in a movie theater. We're talking about, you have access to just many, many movies. The whole program is well over 100 films. So it's chock full. So you want to do is you can go online and see all those, or you can roll into town and go straight to our event headquarters, which is inside the gallery at Jimmy's. So it's right in Market Square, right on Congress Street. That's where we're set up. All the branding is there, and you go in. That's where our merch is. That's where the programs are, the nice printed glossy programs. That's where all the passes are sold in person and for pickup and will call for people that buy them online. It's sort of like the hub of everything. There's press interviews going on. That's where the filmmakers themselves check in for coming into town. So it's very cool, very exciting. It's sort of the heart. And then from there, boom, like you go and you take off and you start exploring.
Yeah. And good luck to anybody. I mean, there's a ton to see. And I want to make sure we brought it up before, not you and I, but like Ian and I and Tina, that Thursday block, that whole Thursday, it being New Hampshire Day. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Dedicate $30.
No, I know. $30.
Are you kidding me?
And that's all day and all night.
Yeah.
Including if you want to hit the after party that night at Flatbread's Pizza, which is just an amazing event, sponsored by Northwoods Brewing Company. They do a great job. So you really got all day. So if you got the day off from work and you love movies and you want to connect with great stories and great people and great filmmakers, you come that day because that's our day dedicated to films from New Hampshire and that are set here by filmmakers or whatever. And so, in other words, there's a lot of the creators actually here that day, because of the regional promo that we're doing on that. So it's exciting. Yeah, $30. I mean, come on.
I know. Seriously, it almost costs you $30 for one person to eat dinner, right? At a restaurant. So $30 for the whole day? 10 to midnight? I mean, it's crazy.
We're New Englanders. That's like one lobster roll now. Come on now. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's going on. And,
well said.
I go out for a lobster roll now, and I'm dropping a Thursday day pass to the New Hampshire Film Festival.
I know. And there are some incredible things happening that day. I do want to talk to you about a lot of the events that are going on. What would you say are some of the most attended events? Would you say it's the film blocks themselves, or like the Q&A sessions, or obviously the meet and greets tend to be pretty popular? But if you had to peg something that people probably should check out or get there early to see, what would that be?
Yeah, so as a film festival, we're here to celebrate the art form, really give the audience a good show of really thought-provoking stories by some of today's really visionary talents in this medium. And then we're also here to, empower the filmmakers themselves that are attending to grow their career and present their films to other filmmakers and to industry leaders and connect with the community to get feedback. So the films are obviously, we're a film festival. That's the nugget right there. So we have a massive program of features, documentaries, short films across all kinds of genres and subjects. So there's really something for everybody. We like to say that because it's true. And so that's what you're coming here to mainly see is see a great story that you're looking to connect with, maybe even something you didn't think that you run into, but it happened to be playing in a block that you're sitting in. So our Music Hall Historic Theater is our largest venue, and that can just fit in about 800 people if it's chock full.
And it's beautiful.
And so those are where you'd see the most amount of people gathered together in one spot. Or some of our really prime spotlight films, some of which even have celebs in them. These great indies, to really draw people in. And then after the break, because I think I might hear some music.
You do indeed. Finish up your thought there real quick.
Yeah, I'll go into the stuff beyond the film, which is also just as exciting.
Yes. Cliffhanger. I love it. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I am your happy to be out of bed host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from the Green Acres Like Digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM, 101.9 FM for the folks in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Dan Hannon from the New Hampshire Film Festival is chatting with us. We'll be right back. Walk right in, sit right down. You have found NH Unscripted, you lucky listener. I am your rooftop singer-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Hogan Heroes Like Digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I know nothing. Well, that's probably more truth to that than I care to share. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL, and we are chatting with Dan Hannon, co-founder of the New Hampshire Film Festival, and he has some stuff he wants to unload on us because it is quite an event. Sir, please tell us about things that people might want to make sure they check out.
Well, thank you, Ray. Yeah, we were talking about the films, and I know, so glad you had Ian on. Ian is our head of programming, and him and Mark Pruitt, the cinema curator at the Music Hall, they carry a large hat on their head to go through and build this amazing program. So the films are top notch. We're very competitive, so people got to check those out. But we're a film festival, so the festival now comes in about the whole gamut of the other stuff we do. So we break through that silver screen, and we present a series of interactive discussions for the audience, a lot of networking parties to go mingle with some of the filmmakers, with each other that enjoy movies, your friends, your family, after parties, all kinds of stuff. We really sort of light up Portsmouth with this whole event. So the things to not really miss, too, and to be aware of are things like our annual comedy panel, which this year is hosted by, I call our illustrious host, Eliza Coop, who actually is a New Hampshire native, grew up in Plymouth. Parents still live in Holderness. They're amazing. And she has been a TV star for some time. She was on ABC's Happy Endings. She was the lead in USA's Benched. She does indie films. Just a funny, amazing, creative person. She is our host of the comedy panel. And the other guests are Adam Pally, who's currently seen in Peacock's Mr. Throwback series with him and Steph Curry of basketball fame. He's done great stuff, Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, many movies and TV. Just a funny, great guy. Also on Happy Endings, which is how he and Eliza know each other. And then we have John Michael Higgins, who has been at the festival before. People would know him from the Pitch Perfect movies, from a lot of Christopher Guest's films like Best in Show, Mighty Wind, all those things. Very funny guy. He's always popping up as funny, memorable, amazing characters and stuff. He's going to be on that comedy panel. And then we have Brianna Venskis. She'll be a first-timer at the festival. She is, besides having a lot of viral online presence for comedy stuff, she is also well-known as a lead on for many seasons of The Walking Dead. She was on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. She's been on Supergirl. Yeah, Grace and Johnny, or is it Grace and Frankie? I forget which one it is. But again, big resume. So these are all great people. They're going to be there, and that's at the comedy panel, which is Saturday night at 3S Art Space, and that always is a packed house. So that's one to really to be wary of if someone wants to make that one. That gets fun. And then we have the other things, like for the first time this year, we have a stunt, demonstration going on. We have this amazing stunt person, Amy Green.
That cracks me up.
That's known for so long. She's coming in, and she works on amazing stuff, and she choreographs fights and oversees car stuff, car chases, car wrecks, riggings, where people are flying through the air or getting shot or getting pulled back from being possessed by, something. And, so we're going to have all this stuff going on. She'll be doing that, talking about the stunt world and how certain things are done, and things like that.
Is that going to be, I hate to interrupt you, is that going to be a Q&A, or is that just like a...
yeah, Q&A.
Okay.
Q&A as well, yeah. So it's like she's going to not only do a demonstration and even show some video clips of stuff, but then you're going to be able to talk to her and her guests, her fellow stuntmen she's bringing in, people that she works with and she's friendly with, and they're going to come in, and then you can ask questions about, hey, how do they do this or that? So it's a great example of one of our discussions where even moviegoers that aren't even setting out to make movies, they're not filmmakers per se. It's going to be fascinating because you could just kind of dive in and talk to the behind the scenes piece of all this stuff.
Dude, that's gold. That is gold.
Yeah, it's so cool. And if you're a filmmaker that's thinking about stunts in your next project, and is it really expensive? What do I do? What about insurance? You can have all those elements that people can ask too. So, and that's what we love is to service your cinephiles that are showing up just to boom, connect with stories and people. But you're also servicing your filmmakers that are coming in, on the industry side of the puzzle. And, so that's another one. And I'm just scratching the surface. There's things for kids that are thinking about picking up their iPhones and cameras and want to know more about filmmaking. Should they get into this stuff? And what about all the big movies in Massachusetts? Can I talk to crew members? So we have a whole thing about working on productions in New England, where we're going to have people from sound, lighting, costumes, set design. What it's like to work on these big movies, like something starring Ryan Reynolds that shot in Massachusetts all last year, and so the credits that these guys work on is insane.
I'm looking at it right now. There's folks who worked on Castle Rock, Julia, Dexter, The Holdovers. The New Mutants? That's incredible. Yep.
So these discussions, these panel discussions, these talks, they're really, really a nice thing for film goers to check out, because it's just, besides the Q&As that go on right after a film screening, if the filmmakers or producers or somebody's there with the film, the other thing to do is go to these other events that, again, just sort of break through that silver screen, break that fourth wall, and you can, learn more about the process or laugh on the comedy panel about how these guys, bring comedy into certain situations, TV or film or even on stage as stand-up, so filmmakers can learn about stuff. So there's all that. And then there's all the celebratory stuff, because we're in Portsmouth. It's fall. It's amazing outside. So we have parties that take over, a city block. We have after parties every night. There's always stuff going on. Never mind all the restaurants and cafes. So that our sponsors are amazing. So it's really, really engrossing, and people are always sucked in when they come here. A lot of our first-time visitors, they become regular visitors. Filmmakers that don't even live in New England, they come visit. They're like, this is really cool, because they're just surrounded by everything when they get here, and the people are great. Our dedicated local audience that comes every year is great, and then every year we love seeing the new faces that didn't even know this was going on because it didn't hit their radar. But then they hear New Hampshire Unscripted with Ray Dudley, and then they then they know what's going on in the world, because
checks in the mail, baby.
yeah. See, that's what you do. By the way, you're one of my favorite hosts, and I love this show, and.
Two checks are in the mail. Two checks are in the mail.
Yeah. This isn't to keep the checks going, but it's great. Even Lakes Region fence. I don't even live in the Lakes Region. I don't need a fence, but my God, do I want to call them, because it sounds amazing. I want to go to their website and just look at fences, and I don't need one. Like, it's like you guys are that good, but yeah, because of everybody getting the word out and people spreading the word, you just you get new faces, and it's the coolest event. I know I'm probably biased, and I've been part of it for a long time, but I love movies, and I love connecting with stories that hit me in different ways and make me laugh, make me cry, make me think. Some of them, I swear, make me a better person because I'm like, I should do something about that. Or, especially our documentaries that empower you to they put something in your hand to go do something with. Like, you should help or learn about this cause or whatever. So, you connect with stories, and then you end up connecting with people that are there with you, and then you get chatting about stuff. So, it becomes like an annual pilgrimage for people. And
man.
And that's the vibe we're trying to do. So it's all like, why should anyone attend a film festival or pay the $16 to go see one film or buy a $99 New Hampshire resident pass to go see $99 next gen pass if you're a kid and see all kinds of stuff for 4 days. Why would you do that? It's because you're connecting with great storytelling.
Oh, it's such an event. I've been several years, and when I hear the music. Dang it, another cliffhanger. Hang on, Dan, hang on. Ooh, you lucky listeners. You are getting it all today. You are listening to NH Unscripted. I'm your host, Ray Dudley. Yeah, I got the bunny slippers on. Yeah, I might gotta keep my old feet warm. We are coming to you from the Fantasy Island-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. Keep that earplug in. 101.9 FM in Manchester for you beautiful souls down there. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Dan Hannon, co-founder of the New Hampshire Film Festival, is on the line, and we just scratched the surface. Be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted, where there ain't no mountain high enough, baby. I am your Marvin Gaye-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord, and my God, it is cavernous in here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios if you're in Concord. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. I'll tell you a little bit more what's happening out there in a few moments. On the line with us is Dan Hannon from the New Hampshire Film Festival. He has all the scoops. He knows what's going on out there. He's a co-founder. Dan, there are some big events going on that I think are like probably going to drive a lot of people in, like the Judge Reinhold Q&A or the meetup with Alan Ruck. Could you get into a little bit of those a bit and take off from there?
Oh, yeah. So every year we try to do something that's really special, that is new, sticks out, not a film, not just like a panel discussion or something like that. So something neat, and this year we are so fortunate, and we have two things, not just one, but two things. So one, on Friday, late afternoon, 4 o'clock, right inside the Music Hall Historic Theater, we're going to be joined by Alan Ruck, who, when this all came together, I was beside myself because I was a kid, growing up in the 80s and into the 90s as a teen, and so Ferris Bueller's Day Off was this mantra, you just know every line and all that stuff, and so that's how I got to know the actor Alan Ruck for his character Cameron Fry from that. And then from there on out, anytime you saw this guy, you're like, it's Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And then he's gone on, and then he does roles where you lose that he's Cameron because of how good he got at certain things he was in, like his run on Spin City, and then of course now on HBO's Succession. So he's really got chops, and I've heard, never met him in person, yet anyway, that that he's just such a cool dude. And but so he's got stories going like, back into like the 80s world and in the world of John Hughes and all that stuff. And then it goes all the way to now with like this crazy hit HBO series. So he's going to be here, and we're going to have a nice moderated conversation with him. Who's going to be on stage with him is Rebecca Lavoie, who people might know from NHPR or her podcast that's part of the Netflix world.
There's another podcast out there? What?
I know, right? It's like how many, everyone's got a pod. We should start one right now. I'll start another one today. Why not? So she's going to be on there with him, and she does a great job. She does some of these writers on New England stage at the music hall, so she's familiar with the stage itself, so she's going to do a bang-up job. And so Alan's going to be there, and we're going to hear everything from Alan, and great stories, and the audience will be able to ask questions and all that stuff. So that's super cool. And then the other thing, like you mentioned, oh my gosh, Judge Reinhold. So we're capping off the festival. We're going to close it out with the 40th anniversary screening of Beverly Hills Cop.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, we've never done this before. To do an anniversary screening like this, we've been playing with it for a little while. It's a nice round number. It's an amazing, amazing film. Yes, the sad news that John Ashton, who played Judge's partner in crime, that inherited having to deal with Axel Foley, Eddie Murphy's character, in very comedic ways. Yeah, he just died, and yes, I know it's thrown Judge for a loop, and he's going to be, spending time with John's family and things like that. But he's gonna come to us the weekend of the festival, and he'll be here to talk on stage about all kinds of stuff, and then sort of like intro, and then kick it off to the big anniversary screening to close out the film. To close out the festival. And yeah, we're so fortunate to have him. And again, it's like, Beverly Hills Cop is just so legendary.
Yeah. It's iconic. Everyone knows it.
And for me, so many of my films that mean so much to me that he's been, a part of, and whether it's the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, being, the stepdad character who just wants his weenie whistle in the end, or it's Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is just, again, legendary.
You're too young to know those.
Oh, my, you kidding me? Like, the VHS of that got passed around so often. Please. As guys, like, there's the infamous scene there with Phoebe Cates. It's just like, it transcends, and it's like almost like a part of, like, coming of age.
I have it on loop at home.
Yeah. And then from there, so many things, like the movie Vice Versa, where he and Fred Savage, switch bodies. The father and son end up in each other's bodies, and then have to deal with that. And again, I don't know, maybe not the most critically acclaimed, film on that one, but are you kidding me? The audiences love it, and I know I did. But anyway, I'm just rambling about Judge because I could go on all day. He's just. He always pops up, and he steals scenes, and he's just, amazing dude. And I'm sorry he's got some sad news with losing his buddy John. And
I'll bet he has some stories when he comes in, though, right?
Oh, he's going to be here.
Yeah.
He's probably going to feel a little nostalgic and tell stories about all the. And then they just reshot the most recent one. The most recent in the Beverly Hills Cop series. So they had all just actually returned to those characters. So it's really, really cool. So we're so lucky to be presenting those two events on top of everything else going on. So that's why, I can't reiterate enough. It is just a cathartic experience to come and engross yourself into the film festival. And like I said, if it's for one film, or you're going to come for 4 days and you can drive to Portsmouth, or you're going to find a place to stay and you're going to camp out and you're going to just take it all in and do stuff. So it's, there's a lot. So
it's like Woodstock for film.
Yeah, that's what it is. People, there's these household names like maybe Sundance Film Festival, which has been on forever with Robert Redford involved. We're like, we're just under the size of those, and we shine brightly on the in the global world of film festivals, and well regarded, and filmmakers send us films from everywhere, and we build a program out of amazing things. So we're curating just an awesome show of things that people really might not ever run into either.
Yeah.
Some films will go on and they'll have a big release, or you'll hear of them in the Oscars. We qualify short films for the Oscars, which is great.
I'm glad you brought that up.
This is our third year of doing that. So films that win our live action shorts jury award and our animated shorts jury award, they qualify to submit those films that won for Oscar consideration. So we root for them, but also any of the films we play, our documentaries, our features, some of them actually go on and they get nominated, and we've had some win over the years that were sort of, kind of had their play in New Hampshire and then spiraled off into the world and became, these big award-winning films, and that's what we're doing. So it's like we have the finger on the pulse, and it's great, and it all happens right here. And,
in little Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Well, little, but I mean,
yep.
It's not like Hollywood, or Atlanta. I mean, it's Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
I know it's very tight knit. It's great, and that's what it is. It just feels very, very close when people are here visiting, and filmmakers are here, and even local people. Our residents, like myself. My home is in Manchester, so I'm about 45 minutes from Portsmouth. But every time I go out there, which is a lot, it's it's like my second home. It's just you walk everywhere, everything's open. It's so cool, and that's what just creates a great setting for a film festival.
And when the weather's nice, gosh,
it's good, and we've seen all kinds of weather. But yeah, it can be nice. We've seen snow one year. We've had it all over. We've been in Portsmouth since 2004, so it's 20 years there, and we've seen all kinds of weather. But yeah, when it's nice, oh man, just nothing but a festival T-shirt on.
Yeah,
going from one of the 5 screening venues, or over to a party, or over to this discussion, and then grabbing something to eat, getting a coffee, grabbing a beer, going to another movie.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Bumping into
right
people
there.
Who you don't know, you need to know.
or seeing like a filmmaker. I remember one year we had Adrian Grenier was here, and it happened to be pretty close to when Entourage was still like on top of the world.
Oh.
And he'd be just walking around Portsmouth doing his thing, and everyone's like, "What the heck is Vinny Chase?" Like, and that's cool, and that happens at the festival. You just never know who you're going to run into.
Ooh, Dan, hang on, put a pin right there, baby. Oh, we got one more block. It's not enough. You are listening to NH Unscripted, and I know you're very grateful for that. We are coming to you 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is the URL. Dan Hannon is with me, and we are chatting up the New Hampshire Film Festival. One more block. I don't know we'll get it all in, but we'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted, where we just dropped in to see what condition our condition is in. I am your first edition-like host, Ray Dudley, and we are coming to you from the not-so-overly ostentatious digs of the beautiful KXL Studios in Concord. On your transistor radios, you're probably dialing us in at 1450 AM or 103.9 FM in Concord. Or perhaps if you're in our little fan base down there in Manchester, 101.9. All right, so NHTalkRadio.com. You can go out there. There are people that'll tell you everything that's been going on. There's archives of shows that are out there from everybody that goes on every day. I know you wanted to hear this show, but you know what? There's a listen live button out there. And that's for after. Right now, we have Dan, who's part of the show out there in the festival, New Hampshire Festival out there, and he was about to explode on us with a history of things that are going on out there. Sir, still there?
I am still here.
Go on. Fire away. Tell us what's happening.
All right. So we have the 22nd Annual New Hampshire Film Festival, October 17th through 20th.
Yes.
nhfilmfestival.com. There's over 100 films. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff, the non-film events, the stuff that make it a big, all-encompassing festival for people. So what I would love to do is just hit a few of the movies themselves.
Okay.
There's over 100 in the program. Go to the website, check them all out, watch trailers, read the descriptions and stuff. But it's all right. I'd love to breeze right through some of the ones that I know are going to be standouts.
Fire away.
We just have a feeling. So
right.
if you listeners, if you like just movies, narrative, actors, whether it's based on a true story or not, we have our feature narrative. And on Thursday night, we have a great one that we kick off as our spotlight movie that night in the big theater. It's called EFIS. It is by a New Hampshire filmmaker. His name is Carson Lund. This film started its life at the Cannes Film Festival in France, which is super exciting.
What?
And so it's doing its festival run. It's coming home to the hometown festival of us. And it's about a group of guys, and they've been playing for a long time in like an over 30 baseball league. And this whole story, this whole film takes place over one game, which happens to be the last game they're ever going to play on this field that they've known and experienced life together, because it's about to get developed on. And so it's going to be the end. So it's this last hurrah of these guys getting together. So it's this giant metaphor for where they are in their lives, what the future holds. So it's an amazing piece of storytelling that actually is funny because it all takes place around a baseball field with people just razzing each other and getting in each other's face. So it's called EFIS, named after the famous slow pitch that people see from professional baseball. That's going to be a really, really cool, fun event. Another one is a film called Bird, and this is getting some buzz because one of the stars is Barry Keoghan, who has been like lighting up so many movies, indies and also commercial films. That was another one that came out of Cannes earlier this year. So we're fortunate to have some of these films that are coming out of these big fests and getting some of these big nods, but we're bringing them here to New England, and that's going to be a really cool film. He plays a single dad who's not really doing a great job of giving his 12-year-old a lot of time. So it's a very, very poignant story about this kid and her non-attentive dad as she's reaching these coming of ages with things going on. And so, really, really nice story. So that's going to be cool. That is on Saturday. Also on Saturday, we have John Leguizamo's new film.
Wait, what?
I know, right? Also, French Stewart's in there. I mean, crazy cast, but Leguizamo is like up there for me. My God, like so many things, like Romeo and Juliet for Baz Luhrmann to, oh my God, he's played like good guys, bad guys, everything in between.
Everyone knows him.
He's just done so much stuff in his TV and his animated movies. But he's in a film called Bob Trevino Likes It, which has got a really cool hitch to it. So the lead is this 20-something woman, and she accidentally befriends this stranger online who has the exact name of her father, who really was very self-centered. Again, not the greatest relationship, but he carries her dad's name exactly to the T, and they get chatting and they become friends, and it kind of goes from there. So I don't want to spoil anything, but it's inspired by a true story. This all really happened.
Wait, a true story?
Yeah, this is all based on a true story.
I had no idea.
It's called Bob Trevino Likes It, and it's people will like really, really like that one. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's got a little bit of everything, and we love that stuff. For people that love The Bear, like that kind of kitchen setting,
The
There's this amazing film called La Cocina, and can't recommend that enough because it's insane and it paints the picture of the kitchen world and restaurant world very well. Rooney Mara is in this.
She is?
Beautiful indie. It's like black and white. It's very cool. Yeah, Rooney Mara, who's again, amazing actress from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and so many films.
La Cucina, that's what it's called?
Yeah, La Cucina. That's on Sunday at the Historic Theater.
Sunday.
And then I guess there's the French Italian for comedies. If anyone wants to laugh, that's got Catherine Cohen in it, who's just an awesome comedian and very funny actress. She and her husband are a couple. They're living in New York, and they have a neighbor that's just driving them crazy in their building. And she happens to be an actress, so to drive her nuts, they decide to stage and put on and make a big deal about this theater production they're inventing out of thin air, and they're going to cast it and all that stuff, and just drive her nuts. But then they actually realize that they really love theater production and putting on a show, so they feel like it's their calling now. So it's this whole it turns into this whole thing. It's just really cool.
When is that?
And then that's going to play on Friday morning and on Sunday afternoon during the festival.
Man, oh man!
So that's a good one. And then there's so many. I don't even know where to stop. And then our Friday night spotlight is a movie starring Amy Adams. It's her new film. She is amazing, and this story is very, very cool. It's a film. It kind of has a swear in it, so I don't even know how to say it. But anyway, it's called Night.
Wait, what was that again?
It's called Night. And
I'm not sure I heard that.
It gets beeped out. So Night B, and great title.
Yeah.
So she plays a woman who pauses her career to be a stay-at-home mom, but soon I don't want to spoil it. Soon her new domesticity takes a surreal turn, and she feels like she's going through something, so it's very cool.
There's some other big names in that too.
It's an allegory to motherhood. It's a tribute to motherhood. It's really, really cool. That's going to be a highlight, and that film's going to go on to do extremely well when it's fully released to the world. But we're lucky to have that, and we have Daisy Ridley's new film that's playing on Saturday and Sunday. That's called Magpie. That's a great drama. We have a couple films that are already going to be submitted for foreign language Oscars, like the foreign films. So Denmark's entry we're going to be playing. That just happened. We just found out that's going to happen. It was already in our program. We have Mexico's, I believe. And that's just the narrative. So I could get into documentaries. I don't even know what we're doing on time, but documentaries. Yeah, we're getting crazy on that. We have local flavor. We have The Lost North End, about sort of the urban renewal of the North End of Portsmouth. That's like a nice, great thing for people to check out. There's Bring Them Home, narrated by Lily Gladstone, about the efforts to try to get buffalo back onto the Blackfoot reservations. And we have the Luther Vandross documentary called Luther, Never Too Much. That played at Sundance. Jamie Foxx produced it. Just awesome for any Luther Vandross fans out there.
Man.
There's Porcelain War. This is a crazy story about three artists who they find inspiration and beauty in their culture, their community, and what they do. But at the same time, the Ukraine-Russian war is going on all around them, and it's really, really special film.
Dan, what? I don't mean to. Oh, are you kidding me?
There we go. See, everyone just got to go hit the website. You've got to see.
Give me the deets again. What is the website?
Yeah, so nhfilmfestival.com. It's the 22nd annual New Hampshire Film Festival, October 17th through the 20th, downtown Portsmouth. Hope to see you there. See you at the movies. You'll have an amazing time.
Dan Hannon, New Hampshire Film Festival co-founder. Thank you, sir. You have been listening to NH Unscripted, another award-winning, well, it should be an award-winning show. Yes, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester, or maybe you hit the button out there at nhtalkradio.com or listening live. We love you either way. All right, that's going to be it for today. Dan, thank you again. Get out there to Portsmouth and go see something.